That's why I seek out a YMCA wherever I've lived. I love that I can transfer my membership from one town to another, and I love that I can visit any YMCA anywhere in the city of Atlanta.
I didn't know you were a YMCA fan. I am too.
I met another, they have a parents' night out once a month, which I love. My husband and I can go on a date, and the little boy will go, and they'll play with other little kids there, and he always has so much fun. I met another parent who said that he lives within 20 minutes of 4 different YMCAs, and if you're a member of one, you can take advantage of all of them. So he and his family, he has 3 children. They find the parents' night out and like rotate between all That's 4 awesome. Different ones. Like they take advantage.
That's awesome. So I swim like 3 days a week. And when I was thinking about moving in town, I was like, oh, I'd have to give up my Y because it's so convenient to be 2 minutes away from my pool where I swim year round. And it's great.
There are Ys pretty close here, though, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Carl Sanders is pretty close.
Buckhead. Yeah.
I love it.
I joined a little gym where you don't go like work out anytime you want, but they just have these high intensity interval training classes. And so
like Orange Theory?
Kind of like that, but more with weights. And so I enjoy that because it's structured. I've got a time I got to be there, and there's somebody telling me what I need to do, and I have to be there for that whole hour, or I look like the guy that left early. So that's what works for me. I have to have some structure.
There's plenty of gym options.
And, as far as retirement, I think Rich and I see it from time to time, but it's when people are kind of empty nesters and they're downsizing. And that's one of the things I was thinking about doing a website or maybe a blog section on our website about condo living, because so many people have never lived in condos and they don't know really what condo living means, shared living, shared, spaces and, limited space and stuff. So kind of educating people about what it really means to live.
They're not the people vertically. Who will yell, "Get off my lawn."
No, exactly.
I will testify because I loved living in condos and I can't wait to get back to one.
Yeah.
And you've said that you think that there are people in big multi-generational homes who maybe don't need or want all that space anymore. You should consider looking into condo living.
So OTP, we have a plethora of, I got my word in, plethora of good options for people who want to retire and downsize but not leave Georgia, because we have economic advantages. In Cobb County in particular, seniors over the age of 62 don't pay school taxes. So your property tax bill reduces so much that it's hard to get people to leave. And where it used to be there was an exodus to Florida or somewhere else, we have the YMCA, we have fantastic health services, medical, everything that's needed, plus the tax incentive. So retiring in the burbs is really good. Cherokee, Paulding, Gwinnett County all have really good options for seniors in retirement.
Well, and a lot of the suburbs are really creating those town centers, whether it's their historic town center like in Woodstock or kind of something out of whole cloth like Halcyon or Avalon.
Yes.
But that gives people kind of the ability to be in, depending on where you are, maybe less expensive than right here in the heart of Midtown. Maybe a little bit slower pace, but also still have that
Lots
a condo and some
dining.
interaction.
Access to everything you want that's
Walk to
convenient,
things.
but maybe, yes, the pace is a little bit slower.
Just like we have all these different neighborhoods, I think we have realtors to go with them. I mean, Atlanta's a big city, y'all.
It's like Ben and Jerry's. You can pick your flavor and your toppings.
I think because for a long time we weren't the big city, but now Atlanta's a full-on global city with people from all over the world, lots of different neighborhoods of different character. And I think that we talked about at one point earlier how what we do is very personal and people oriented. And so it's important to have a good match with your realtor. So I think that there are as many different ways to be a realtor.
We do have a very diverse, wonderfully diverse group that matches our wonderfully diverse communities.
That's right.
And our wonderfully diverse clients.
Yes.
When I first moved here, I'll say the Atlanta real estate market is really well ahead of other parts of the country in some of their technology and the competitiveness and things that many years ago when I first moved here, things like virtual staging was all over Atlanta. People had been doing it forever, but other parts of the country hadn't seen that yet. People may not know that sometimes when you see furniture in a listing photo, it's not really furniture that's in the home. It was added afterwards. And I do think that with the new AI technologies that are coming, Atlanta and Atlanta realtors are going to be in the forefront of using that to hopefully better serve our clients as well.
We do have a tech edge here.
A tech edge, exactly.
I know the people in Seattle would argue that they have the edge, but since they're all moving here,
Right.
we have the edge.
Yeah, exactly. We've got the movies, we've got the technology.
It's also very much a global city. So, it helps to have language skills. It helps to have not understanding of different cultures, because you're definitely going to work with clients who come from different backgrounds and maybe have different sort of ways that they shop or think about those kind of decisions.
That's part of the fun of being
Yeah,
a real
it is
estate
part of the
agent,
fun,
is the getting to.
So it's interesting. My Rotary Club is the North Metro Rotary Club that I'm in. We have people from 9 different countries. And I know you guys like to give me a hard time about being OTP, but 9 countries in a small Marietta, Ackworth, Kennesaw corridor. That's a fairly small, 100 members, 9 countries represented.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's a
incredible.
pretty good, and that is very representative of our communities in that area. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've lived here for 35 years. And I remember before the Olympics, you never heard anyone speak another language. Almost never.
That is
A
true.
little bit of Spanish, but before that, and then after the Olympics, that's when everything changed. And we really took off.
When I was running a closing office here in Midtown, I learned a lot about the Hague Convention. Do you know what that is?
The hay?
That's how you can, if you're a member of this convention, then you can notarize from other, like the apostilles from other countries will work here or not, depending on the convention. So I was kind of constantly looking up, all these different countries to find out whether, how we could get the deed notarized. Because when we would have a lot of clients come in from Germany for Porsche and Mercedes. We had a lot of people from Africa coming in. We had a lot of people from all different places. Fun fact, Canada is not a member. And so, so it's easier to close a document where the seller is in like Zimbabwe or something, I think they're a member, than it is like I have had to tell people, you've got to get in your car in Toronto and you've got to drive across the Niagara Falls.
Interesting. To get notarized.
Yeah.
There's a new Michelin star guide in Atlanta.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, Michelin came here and they have added us to their book.
That is huge.
That's huge.
So fun.
Does that mean they chose some certain restaurants? How many? Do you know?
Right now, I think there were 6 in the first round, and they each got 1 star, which is, that's amazing. Probably we'll see that.
To get them to come do the rating
it's amazing.
assessment is
Will
a
you
big
pay
deal.
them?
Yeah.
I think they were paid $1 million.
By whom?
I don't. I'm not sure. That's what I heard yesterday.
Really?
Yes, they were paid. There was a group that wanted them to come, and so there's a financial incentive for them to come.
Well, I don't doubt it, and it's good. Well, we've always had amazing restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine who was a police officer decided he wanted to be a chef, and he went to the French Culinary Institute in New York, and he was saying that when you graduate from there and you want to go to a really, apprentice under an amazing chef, you either go to New York, San Francisco, or Atlanta. Mm. So I was really.
So I read the book Unreasonable Hospitality. Amazing book, but I didn't know much about dining at that level until I read that book, and it kind of details the history of how he grew into the top-rated restaurant, in the world, like the world.
Yeah.
And the book is amazing.
Are any of the restaurants in any of our communities that were selected? Because I haven't read to see which.
Bacchanalia Atlas, which is at the St. Regis.
I love Atlas.
There's one that is in the, I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it's in West Midtown. It's in the Star Metals building. I can't remember the name. It's an Asian restaurant. Little Bear won the, I don't remember the exact name of the award, but the chef who is up and coming. Miller Union won the service award, and there was some commentary from locals that they were surprised they didn't win for food as well, but they won the service award. So
Congratulations to all of them. That's exciting.
I'm really glad that I listened to that podcast. This one.
Have y'all read anything by Ruth Reichel? She used to be the food critic for the LA Times, and she's written a lot of really good books about Michelin star dining. So it's a fun read.
When I have people come visit, I always take them to the Varsity because, I mean, it's iconic.
It is iconic. It's true.
But it's not Michelin rated.
I mean, to me, it's a place you go once.
It's like the Big Chicken.
It's true.
Nashville hot chicken.
I never saw the Big Chicken until it hasn't been that long ago. It was about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. All this time I'd heard the directions about the Big Chicken.
We'll just go to the Chicken and hang a left.
Exactly.
You guys clearly stay in town a lot. Where's your favorite place to go in Georgia outside of the city? That's intriguing because you travel the world over. You go to the Big Chicken and hang a right.
Yeah, right.
I thought it was a left.
No, seriously. Have
Savannah.
You guys seen? Yeah, Savannah
Savannah's
is amazing.
I've always enjoyed going there. It's a very beautiful city.
A little quick 3-hour
Ridge,
drive. Yeah.
Head up to the Blue Ridge Mountains just to get away from things, get a little cooler.
Travel.
Cooler.
Georgia.
Usually on a plane, leaving Georgia.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Georgia, where else would you go in Georgia?
You have a farm.
Well, yeah. So we...
Should we go
That's
check on your
huge.
farm?
Who's been minding the farm? Yes, that's out in Monticello, about an hour and 15 minutes
And
east.
it's beautiful out there. I
Yeah, it's
haven't been
really
to
pretty.
your farm, but it's
very
an
pretty.
incredible
It's,
area.
You know, rolling pasture land and forests and lakes, a lot of little lakes and stuff. So it's pretty. And fun fact is that I never realized it, but the town of Monticello was the filming location for My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
And we were on our way to the lake a few months ago, and we stopped in to get a bag of ice at the Sack of Suds, which is where the murder happened.
Was it closed for the flu?
Yeah, it was wide open, I'm telling you. So yes, Georgia's a really beautiful state.
So I got to do a boat tour of luxury homes on Lake Lanier with one of my friends and agents that we're realm members together. So it was a fantastic way to see luxury lakefront properties on Lake Lanier, which is only an hour from where we're sitting right here.
Yeah.
And it was great. I mean, beautiful lakefront homes, boats of every shape and size.
Yeah.
It was great. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much there is right outside the city. Blue Ridge and the North Georgia mountains are incredible. All the way up to Blairsville at the state line is, if you want to see fall colors, which is what's happening right now. Tell me you've gone to the pumpkin patches. Judy, you took your son to the pumpkin patch.
During the pandemic, we had a 2-week vacation time off, and we split the time, 5 days at the coast, 5 days at Lake Lanier, and then we spent 4 days up in the mountains near Dahlonega. And it was just beautiful. Georgia's a beautiful state. I love that we could go to the coast and the lake and the mountains, and it was all in the state of Georgia. It was safe. We felt safe at the time, and it's just, a beautiful state with so much to offer.
Did you pan for gold in Dahlonega?
Everyone pans for gold in Dahlonega. It has to be done.
Savannah is amazing too. Like it's an old city, and it's so mysterious to me. It just has, it has a vibe of like a Venice vibe.
I can see that.
I'll take your word for that.
It's a lot of that Spanish moss and stuff.
But I don't know. It's I get the same vibe as Venice, but it's I think it's because of the water and the port and all that. It's really interesting. And
cobblestone roadways.
Right.
Cobblestones make it, feel vintage.
Feel vintage. But I went to the GAR meeting in September, and it was in Savannah, and my hotel was right on the river where they come into the port, and I was I think on the 6th or 7th floor, and I was kind of right eye level with these giant ships going by, and it just kind of is a reminder that you look out one side and it's these beautiful homes, and on the other side it's a very active port, and you're seeing all this amazing, humongous ships coming and bringing in commerce, and it is a huge
with the big tractor trailer sized containers, the container ships,
and cars and everything. And it's a neat juxtaposition.
Have you ever been there for St. Patty's Day?
I haven't, but the thought that always comes to my mind, I always remember the very final scene of Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. I can never get that scene out of my head, and so anytime somebody says Savannah, that's what I always go to that movie, because it does have, and that to me is kind of the feel that it has, that kind of mysterious vibe.
And just east of here, in like Jefferson, Monroe, not Franklin, Washington. There's a Washington also, kind of between here and Athens. There are some great little towns that have their historic old towns, and a lot of really fun B&Bs there. So it's neat to go and.
Madison's a really beautiful town out in that direction.
It's fun to go stay there just for a weekend or something.
Yeah, it is nice. So I know we talked a lot about the airport and like flying other places, but here in Georgia, there's a lot to do. Just weekend getaway.
Right.
You go to the farm.
Six Flags.
And you totally skipped over it.
Really? I haven't been there in years.
I love Six Flags.
Do you?
I love
You love roller coasters?
Yeah.
I will 100% go with you. I haven't been since I was in high school.
Which one's your favorite?
Just let me know when.
Oh, I forget all the ones. I think the Superman one, maybe, or the Batman one.
Yeah,
One of those
Superman
two.
where you're flying.
Yeah, except when
I don't do the old wooden one anymore.
You're inverted, and so all the weight is, and then they start to go, and then it stops, and you're there for 15 minutes on your stomach after you. Yeah, that happened to me.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, it was lovely. I gotta tell you. Yeah.
It's good after a fair.
And then I'm the first car to go after whatever stopped us in the first place. I'm like, great, thanks a lot.
You're okay though.
I made it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I think too, the airport is definitely a benefit. If you can't find what you need in Georgia, it's a quick flight away.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
I'm going to Chicago for a birthday party this weekend.
Oh, good luck. Stay away from public transportation.
I'm not scared.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you'll tune in for our next podcast of Clearly Georgia, where we talk about all things Georgia related. I'm Deborah Morton with Clario Real Estate.
I'm John Anderson with Space in Town Realtors.
And I'm Rich Segovich with Space in Town Realtors.
I'm Judy Jernigan with Sage and Grace Realty Group.
And I'm Leslie Johnson, the broker for Clario Real Estate.